Hi. Okay, for this video, we are going to talk about your 3 prep assignments that are going to help prepare you for Scratchboard. Most of us have never done Scratchboard before, or maybe only done it a little bit. It's not a super common kind of medium to use, and so it's really important to make sure that you prepare. Another reason why it's really important to prepare is because, oh, there we go, is because scratchboards cannot be erased, okay? They can be beautiful, you get incredible detail, but they are not forgiving like a pencil is, where you can erase it, or even painting where you can potentially paint over it. Once you scratch the surface, that is always going to be there. And so then if for some reason you scratch somewhere you don't want it to be, then you have to get creative about adding something there, or you just have to live with it. And so it's really important to practice creating texture, practice drawing your animal prior to your big scratch board. And I'm also going to give you some other tips and tools and tricks to make sure that you do okay and aren't like scratching where you don't want to. But it's really important to feel comfortable before you go into your actual scratch board and to practice. So that's what these assignments are all about. So your first assignment is just in your sketchbook with pencil or pen. Honestly, if you want to use pen for this, it works really well because just like Scratchboard, you can't erase. Pen you can't erase, so it's a good one to use. But you're just going to practice drawing animals. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to think about what animal you might potentially want to use for your Scratchboard, okay? And then you're going to choose one of these videos. There's 4 of them right here to follow along within your sketchbook. It's just a little tutorial on how to draw those animals. Take the time, really study how the artist who's showing you creates texture. And when you're done, you're just going to take a photo of your finished tutorial sketch in your sketchbook, and you're going to submit it to the checkpoint. Okay, I'm just looking to see that you've practiced. But by choosing an animal that's most similar to the animal you want to do, that's going to be more efficient practice. That's going to help you whenever you go to do your actual scratch board. So here are those main options so you can see them a little bit better. You've got a kitten. So if you're doing any kind of cat, I would definitely suggest doing this. It's also great if you're doing any kind of like short-haired animals. We've got, oops, that's going to start, which I don't actually want. A collie dog, so a long-haired dog. So if you're doing a dog or anything with super long hair, this is going to be a great option. Oop, it's going to keep doing that. We've got a horse. So this has the practice with the mane, but also the practice with super short hair. You can't even really see the hair as much on this one. So that's a great option. And the final option is in case you want to do some kind of reptile. This one shows how to draw scales and how to approach those things in drawing a dragon. Kind of fun. So choose whichever one of those works closely to what you plan on doing. And then submit that. And then you're ready for assignment number 2. So assignment number 2, you are going to create 20 textures. It's the 20 texture challenge. So in there, I have a ton of different textures on the screen, my texture inspiration pages. It looks like this. And I want you to look at these, and I want you to follow along and try and recreate 20 of them. So you can do a mix of more complicated ones and simpler ones if you want, but make sure you're getting a nice mix. And you can just do this in your sketchbook as long as you number 1 through 20, or there's a little worksheet that you can print off and you can follow along in there as well. I believe I also have these printed off and put in your packet. So if you have your supply packet, which you really should for this project, you can just use the paper in there as well. But the idea is you create 20 little practices, which will help prepare you for when you go to do your actual Scratchboard and you have to recreate whatever texture is in your animal. Another note, if you want to look at your actual animal, so if you have a photo in mind and use practicing your actual animal as some of those 20 textures, then you are welcome to do that. So the textures don't have to necessarily come from these inspiration sheets. Those are just there to help you. You can look at your animal as well. Okay. Once you're done with that, you are going to take a picture of your 20 texture challenges, make sure they're numbered, and you are going to submit those. There's also a little video in here to help you if you're struggling, you feel like your textures aren't coming out right. Here's a how-to video on creating a bunch of different textures with pen and ink. So very appropriate and similar to Scratchboard. All right, and then the final one is our mini raccoon practice. So I want to make sure that you get an opportunity to create a mini Scratchboard prior to doing your full-on Scratchboard. Now this one takes a little bit more work because I want to walk you through all of that and the tools that you're using. So there is a different video that you're going to follow along with this, but in this video I'm going to give you a sneak preview. So here's a little raccoon. I have this printed off and I put it in each of your supply folders. Also, I put a little mini Scratchboard in each of your supply folders. So you're going to go here, you're going to follow along with my tutorial to create your own little one, and then you're going to submit an image of that to that assignment. Okay, so those are your 3 assignments for this week. Space those out however you deem appropriate, and have a great day.